Peace, what's up? This is Jarrell with Quantum Light Consciousness. Today we're going to talk about how you can unlock your third eye and 3 ways to do that. Okay, so when it comes to the third eye, there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of, well, I like to say incomplete information out there on the internet. There's a lot of things going on in the online world where people haven't actually fully opened their third eye, me included. There's different levels of initiation to the third eye. There's different levels of activation and embodiment when you get into that actual energy center. Okay, the third eye is actually an illuminated center of being. It's actually a pre-existential primordial state of awareness that you step in. Okay, and when you step in that space, what you're doing is you're basically seeing through the matrix as a self-aware God being. All right, so this is why there's so much distortion and incomplete information out there on the internet and just out there in the world, and just people not able to actually understand the third eye for the magnificent piece of hardware that it actually is. Okay, so third eye, I like to talk about 3 different ways that you can actually go in and actually implement your opening and blossoming of this function in your biological system, and how you can begin to see through the veil more quickly and more easily. All right, so to keep it simple, there's different ways to do it. Here's how I do it. I'm learning every day. Honestly, I always push my energy every single day. I always clear my energy every single day with all my higher selves. I always make sure that I'm not hooked to anybody. I'm not getting drained by anybody. And, of course, I'm not hooking on to anybody out of unconsciousness. And these are the things that you kind of do have to work on if you want to move on and develop and, integrate and activate your third eye. Because what a lot of people don't tell you is that the third eye is actually a full body process. All right, you actually have to be clear from feet to head throughout your entire body, throughout your entire energy field, to be able to even begin to make out any type of figure or any type of being, any type of entity or any type of consciousness. You can see with your mind's eye, but if you want to see directly physically if somebody's standing in front of you, you have to be clear. Your aura has to be clear. Now, what does that mean? My aura has to be clear. It means you have to clear your trauma. You have to not be carrying around subconscious trauma, traumatized memory from your childhood. Now you have to clear that, Ho'oponopono. I say that every day. I say that every video. I don't say it every day. But when you begin to go into that clearing process of your trauma, you might have to do that every day. It's a very serious thing, because if you don't clear your trauma, it goes with you from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, and you're eventually going to have to get it. So you might as well just do it now. All right. So you have to be clear in your auric field. Okay, and this means you have to allow your chakras to be able to spin coherently as one, as the unified process from your root to your 8th chakra. All right, so basically to do this, there's different type of visualizations, and there's different types of meditations that you can do. You basically have to be able to clear your mind. All right, being able to clear your mind. Last video I talked about how to do that. Go check out my last video if you want to learn how to clear your mind in an easy way. I'm going to build on that method. I was talking about how you can basically close the windows and doors to your mind. Firstly, to clear it, your mind is a house, or your entire body is a house, like a living temple. You close the windows and doors, and then you just be in silence within yourself. All right, and then if you're not thinking, if you're not doing the thinking, there's no thought going on. All right, so if you're not physically thinking, you have to stop the thought. All right, because you exist in silence there. If you're in a house and you're not talking, and there's talking going on, there's something going on. All right, so you have to clear your mind. All right, another way to do that, to go further with that, is just visualize your mind as a clear sky, clear blue sky, clear sunny sky, just atmosphere. All right, that's how I totally clear my mind. All right, totally clear. All right. And another thing they don't tell you is that in order to actually activate your third eye, you have to be able to hold a charge. You have to be able to hold like your auric energy very good, very well. Like, you know, to be able to do that, you have to actually know your energy. You have to know how you want to feel. You have to know that you are an energy being, and you have the right to choose to feel how you want to feel, regardless of, you know, who's feeling whatever they're feeling around you, or what they're doing, or where they've been at, or what their experiences are. It's not your experience. You know, you are an individual who is totally dedicated to your progression as a energy being in evolving. So people who refuse to learn how to learn, you have to actually put up a shield and shield yourself instead of absorbing all the stuff. And you have to be able to hold your own energy, all right, and be able to resonate that energy and flow that energy. Okay, now you have to be able to hold the charge of that energy as well. Okay, so what does that mean? All right, it means that you have to be able to charge from the sun, or basically hold your own source energy. You can charge from the sun, or you could basically pull in so much energy directly from source, or directly from the planet Earth, or I don't know, any star of your choice, or higher self. Higher self could send you energy, and literally, like, you basically can literally cycle energy through higher selves. You know, whichever energy you want to resonate most with, you have to be able to charge yourself and hold that charge. Okay, so the first way to activate your third eye, this is what I learned. I was basically like already astral projecting, already like totally wide awake. This was 2016, totally wide awake, flying through a star field, my eyes open, just sitting in my room, just stars just zooming by my head. Okay, and I learned about rock formations. I learned about crystal formations. I learned about how crystals actually grow, golden mean ratio. Like they grow like a flower. Like rocks grow, they grow like a plant because they're actually alive. Okay, everything is alive. Everything has spirit. Everything has consciousness. Everything is very conscious. All right, so I learned about how crystals grow, and I learned that they actually grow, spiral out counterclockwise. So what I did was I took a crystal geode. I took my amethyst geode, and I knew my third eye was a vortex, and my third eye was spinning in the center of my skull, right? My third eye was spinning, so I took the crystal geode, and I basically linked it to the center of this amethyst, all right? And the first thing I heard when I did this was, "You can go home now," right? And I'm like, holy shit, right? And then I was basically drilling through the veil with my own consciousness, with my own energy. All right. I was able to see an eye, like a holographic eye, where I made that contact point, where I actually like spun my energy like through the actual like natural formation of the crystal rock. And what I did was sync my coherent organization of awareness with nature. And when I did that, I was able to actually see the actual light photons spinning through everything, spinning through the actual fabric of reality. And that's when I realized I'm in like an actual simulation. I'm actually in a holographic simulation. That was the second time I realized. But this time was actually, like, this time I'm explaining this, it was a lot more jarring, because I'd actually see like actual like the unified field literally organized around me and snap into place. All right, so it gets very, very serious, very at least intense when you actually do stuff. So you can try this at your own merit, you know, if you're ready for that. So the second way to open your third eye is to actually understand that the universe is actually on an atomic structure at the illuminated level. All right, so that means the smallest possible thing that you can focus on is actually an atom. And an atom is a torus. And a torus is a fundamental pattern that spins around one point of awareness. And when you can understand that, you can basically expand your consciousness to as far as you want, to as small as you want. You can go anywhere, you can see anything, you can get to an illuminated level with your own understanding of yourself, okay? I don't really have any other way to explain this besides if you've ever seen the anime Naruto and how they use those crazy modalities within their eyes. Basically, what you do is you utilize your own understanding of the unified field as, a torus structure, and put a torus structure where your eyeball is. All right. Now, to go into that, you know what a torus is, right? You basically look at the torus as a unified field, just fluid, dynamically fluid, and how it flows within itself. It flows as one, all right, as a sphere, all right, with light in the center, okay, within its sphere, okay. Picture a sun, picture a ball of light, picture a plasma ball of light, all right, and picture this being as a representation of you, as your energy. If you can picture the sun as a plasma sphere, and you can see that the plasma sphere as a sphere of liquid plasma, fire, that's also fluid, you basically can understand a torus. And if you can understand a torus, you can put that sphere as your operating system, as what you view through, okay? So that's basically how I view my retinal visual function. So I basically put that understanding literally in like my right eye, all right? And right when I did that, I was lying in bed, I did that, and I hear, you can come upstairs now, like from one of my higher selves. Like that's basically like the understanding you need to be able to actually take back the etheric hooks and attachments that literally hook off of the right side of your vessel, hook through your brain, hook into your retinal system, and then look through your eye like a camera lens, so they can basically gain access to your reality and keep you unawakened, asleep. All right. I don't make this stuff up. This is exactly what happens. I don't know why more people don't talk about this stuff. I'm just talking about exactly and explaining exactly what I've experienced and what I see going on with other people. So the third way to open your third eye is doing the candle technique. All right, the candle technique is something that I just recently mastered because your mind has to be totally clear. Okay, what you do is you take a candle and you stare at the candle, and then you kind of stare at the candle till there's that little imprint in your mind, in your eyes, where, it's like, if you look at a TV too long, you get that little glow, or you look at your phone screen too long, you get that little glow. But what you do is you match nature with your biological system, okay? So what you're doing is you're linking your natural unified field to the actual elemental unified field, okay? So you look at a candle, and then you allow the imprint to get into your eyesight, and then you take that imprint with your eyesight, and then you move it around, and you move it around, and you move it around, and then you keep your mind clear. This is where that good meditation of understanding and viewing your mind as a clear blue sky comes in handy, because your mind has to be clear when you're doing this. So, and I didn't know it until recently, I just recently mastered it. Alright, so basically you take this imprint of the candle and you move it closer and closer and closer and closer, and this is basically how you get full 1080 awareness, totally clear with your third eye. Alright, easy. Okay. So that's it. Just understand that, when you wake up multidimensionally, you are actually giant size. You're Metatron giant size. Like, your energy body isn't just the size of your little baby human vessel. Like, your energy body is at least 300 feet tall, 400 feet tall. Like, it's huge. And you are in this field of like little shrimps, like little baby humans who basically are just walking around like they're fetuses, but they're like full-grown adults, like driving cars, like, and you're looking around and there's no one around who's on your level. So you basically step into your own integrity real quick, or you get shut down by your highest version of self. So always remember to stay in your heart, to stay in that calm place of love and unconditional understanding of yourself as a grown, learning being, and not to transgress against anybody else just because they haven't learned the same lessons that you have, and they haven't gone through the same spiritual initiations that you have decided to put yourself through. And that's it. Everything's going to be good, if you stay balanced and you stay aligned, with your intent, with your higher selves, with your light versions of higher selves, and your versions of the highest version of yourself. Okay, that's also very key. If you talk to the highest version of yourself, your linear version of yourself, then it's like skipping like huge amounts of progress that could take like years to get by otherwise. Other spiritual people, who are very popular, who have lots of followings, like they only talk to their higher selves at like fifth dimensional level. I talk to my sixth dimensional version of self, and every being who's even enlightened, they're on a different path. Like they're all on different levels of consciousness. I've holographically seen my higher selves. When I look up my soul stream, I see my higher selves fighting sometimes. I literally see a dark angel on the right side, a light angel on the left side, and them clashing. Like literally, this is what I saw like probably like the end of 2016. I'm like, what the hell? Like literally, like, so I was, I talked to my sixth dimensional version of self, and my sixth dimensional version of self does not like my draconian version of self, my actual like dragon higher self, my 10th dimensional self. So just talk to your highest version of self to bypass all of the, the conflict, the galactic drama, the wars that have happened, so you can move into your best and highest timeline right here now while you're on the planet Earth. Okay, so peace and love.